In this episode, Felipe Mazzocchi will show us how he transformed automation processes at Vanderlande with a large maker community distributed around the world, resulting in large business ROI. Welcome to Keeping It Real with Power Platform, where we look at how real people use the Power Platform around the world to create awesome software solutions. And today, we have Felipe Mazzocchi joining us all the way from Netherlands. So welcome, Felipe, and thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Leon.
So let's start with an easy one. Tell us about your journey with Power Platform.
Well, so basically, my career started all the way back during the pandemic, so the COVID-19. I was recently graduated from architecture, and what I mean architecture is not IT architecture, it was like real building architecture. But yeah, during the lockdown, there was no job opportunity. It was a very difficult situation, especially in Brazil. And this is where I found Power Platform. And this is kind of like game changing for me. But very soon I realized that it could go way beyond my own productivity, and I could also help other people embracing the technology and driving impact. And soon I moved to Netherlands, to my current company, Vanderlande. This is where I really see the impact of what Power Platform can do in an organization. Basically, I started to support a way of creating an automation framework using Power Platform that would connect to a legacy system that we had to creating and managing ticketing systems, right? So think about when you raise a HR ticket or a finance ticket, and it get treated, it get automated in a certain way. With this legacy system, there was no way to automate in the process, and then we had to create something outside with Power Platform.
That's a super inspiring journey. I'd love to hear more about that maker community that you created in Vanderlande.
If I can say something myself, is that I am the living proof that you don't have to have an IT background to start with Power Platform. And I try to use everything that I learned myself also to help others embrace the technology, right? So removing all of the IT barriers and the pro code mindset that you have to start building your solutions. I went to a different approach by really translating the business processes into Power Platform solutions and connecting the dots on, okay, you need a Power Automate there, you need a Power Apps over here to create an interface. And very easily, people start to embrace the new way of thinking and this low-code mindset that you have to create in order to translate your legacy processes into a more digital way of working.
So can you show us some of that transformation, like how it materialized in the company?
All right, so basically with this high-level overview, I can explain how we work with this framework. It all started in TopDesk. So once someone raises a ticket in TopDesk, an API call gets sent to Azure. This is where the pro code gets done, all the magic. I won't go into much details over there, but basically that request gets transmitted to Power Platform, and we rely on Dataverse tables to receive that message and also to route that back to the automations using business events. So business events is the trigger that we use in our TopDesk automations, in Power Automate, of course. And based on that, we can easily integrate with every system that we have. We also allow users to create their own custom connectors or embed AI Builder if needed. When you are thinking about automating a process in TopDesk, you can request a custom API to your solution in TopDesk, and then the tickets get routed automatically to your solution in Power Platform. So basically, without any type of pro code, you can create your own custom API using Power Platform, and then you get the routing between the TopDesk ticket and your automation in no time.
That's super cool. You're getting the best of both worlds, and also you're getting that empowerment, so you can get more done by more people faster, right?
Exactly. And to be honest, we started with this automation framework to be used only by ICT people, but then we soon realized that it could be very easily be shared with the citizen developers. They are more than able to create their own automations and also remove the burden from the ICT team, so we don't have to build everything for the company and also let the company lead the processes.
So you have a great framework. How do people learn how to use the framework and how to start self-serving these solutions?
So the team that I'm part of, the Digital Acceleration, we are responsible for training people to adopt those technologies. So in our SharePoint site, we created this very nice Power App. People can just subscribe to a training and attend in person or online and get the knowledge to actually build something with Power Platform.
Is there any app that you can show us that is a manifestation of this process?
Yes, of course. So basically I created a demo that actually connects to our TopDesk, and I can show the whole process to you. So here in our TopDesk, I can search for this automation example. This is basically a simple form that I created just for testing today. And here I'm performing the regular situation as an employee that is filling up a form. And as soon as I submit this request, the whole process kicks in. So now I have my ticket created, and I can see that is here, is waiting for something to happen. But if I start seeing in the background how things connect to each other, I have, first of all, everything that got routed through Azure into my Dataverse, I can see in this model-driven app. So here I can see that the ticket that I just created is available for me to consume. I see what is the type of TopDesk request that was created. And that same event that got triggered here on this model-driven app is the one that I can consume in my Power Automate. So now if I go to my Power Automate and I refresh the flow, I can see that I have an automation running. And let me actually show you how the automation goes. Keep in mind that this is a very simple demo process. It can go way beyond that, but it all started when an action is performed in Dataverse. So the custom API gets triggered. I receive all of the information from the TopDesk ticket here as my inputs. So all of the information. I just very easily parse the JSON message and I'm starting an approval process. So in this case, if I open here my Outlook, I see that I have a request waiting for me to approve, and I can say, yes, it's approved. Once I submit my decision and I go back to my Power Automate, you'll see that in no second it got completed. It's now updating the TopDesk ticket with a custom connector that we built, and now the automation is completed. Well, if I go back to my TopDesk request and I refresh the page, I now see that the ticket got closed because, yeah, it got completed. And I also see the comments from my approval. Yes, it's approved. So this is a very simple demo of what is possible. But of course, our citizen developers, they created way more complex things, integrating with different sources, different systems, and really putting their business process into it. We do keep track of the cost savings that we have with those sorts of automations. You can see year by year how much money we are saving and also time by automating some of these processes with Power Automate.
This is really great because it's not only like empowerment of business users to solve their needs, solve all the IT needs. You have like very concrete savings that you are driving through this process that you can measure, and then you can prove the value of what you are doing, the return of that investment.
For sure. And this return of investments is what really drove the adoption in a larger scale. So once we show those numbers to our managers and the other directors that we have in different domains, they were like, okay, I need Power Platform for way more than just TopDesk automation. And this is where things really exploded in our company. So we now have hundreds of apps, hundreds of automations from all different systems and for all different processes. So it's really, really great.
Do you have anything that you can share with us in terms of like the scale at which you guys are operating and how that scale was changing over time?
Yes, of course. So we can see that early 2018, it was very little usage, but we really see a spike during 2022 to 2024. And now if you compare 2024 to 2026, we more than double the amount of makers and Power Apps and Power Automates that we get created. Basically, we are keeping track on how the environments are growing. So how many environments we're getting created for specific business domains, the amount of Power Automates and Power Apps that are being created over time. But you do see some dips on 2026, and that is because we're still in month 4, so we still have way more room to grow, and I for sure see that we are going to surpass 2025 in the amount of growth in all of the stats. As we are a company that is present all over the world, we do have offices that are adopting the platform in different ways. So we see the biggest impact being done here in Europe, but of course we have people in the US, we have people in India, in Australia, in Brazil even. They are doing Power Platform in their own way. So really automating processes for their own personal productivity, like I started in the first place, all the way to core enterprise solutions that are being used by hundreds of employees every day.
So thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Nice, thank you. I hope that with my case, I can also inspire other people to do the same path. It's just to testify that you don't need to have an IT background. It's just a matter of keeping a creative mindset and trying to explore what is available out there. So it's a journey that I recommend everybody to take.
Felipe, how can people learn more about the work that you do or follow the things that you are evolving as you continue your journey?
Yeah, you can of course connect with me in LinkedIn. Over there, you can just message me, and yeah, we can exchange information. I can share some of the insights that I have on my side, and I'm also very willing to collaborate and learn from other makers around the world.
Thank you very much, Felipe, and thank you for watching. See you in the next episode of Keeping It Real with Power Platform. Bye for now.